Monday. Hopefully you guys had a rockin' weekend. I was super busy, but I had some beautiful breakthroughs with some things, and so I call it a win. It's very exhausting, but sometimes getting to a higher space or figuring things out for yourself takes some work, right? It's just the way it goes. So good morning, good morning. All right. Hop on, say hello, tell me where you're from. Oh, another cool thing happened. So I had this fantastic woman reach out to me, and I laughed so much when I was talking to her because I'm very, I'm very careful with who I allow myself to connect with. And I know that is so crazy because to me, I'm like, man, I share my entire life on social media. But when it actually comes to having a personal connection with someone, I'm very, very cautious about who I allow in my circle. And my circle is so small. It's very manageable when it's small. There's not a lot of maintenance that you have to do. So sometimes people reach out, right? They're like, hey, let's do an interview, or I want to connect with you, or whatever. Some people just, want to ask questions about like maybe they're energy healers too, or whatever. And so I'm usually a little skeptical when I meet with people, and it takes like a certain personality that just really clicks with me and that I want to develop like an actual more than that type of relationship. So I met with this super awesome lady yesterday, and she is just like a genius in what she does. So I'm super excited because it's like a really awesome connection. And I just was laughing the whole time because I've met and talked with so many people, and they're like, oh, I love you so much, and la, la, la. And I'm like, okay. And I'm not like trying to put out there that I think I'm at a different level, or it's just not, right? It's not like that, like boom connection. Like those are the kinds of people that I allow in my circle. It can't just be a, oh, you're really nice and we get along. It's a boom connection. Yeah, bada boom. Super bada boom. Like, I feel like I want to give you as much as you're giving me, and it's got to be a boom, boom, bada lada boom. So I'm super excited. I think that this connection is just deliciousness. And I'm not really sure exactly what that means yet, but it's going to be good. All right, tonight is going to be Monday Soul Deliciousness, and tonight I'm going to re-share my story as a whole because I realize that I talk about bits and pieces in some of my videos, but it's kind of all choppy. So tonight we're going to dive into it. We're going to dive into the nitty-gritty hell that I've been through, and the reason for that is I want you to see it. I want you to see it. I want you to feel it. I want you to know that you can do it. You can come back from whatever takes you to your knees. Good morning. Hello, Lisa. Hope you had a beautiful weekend. All right. So for today's little pick-me-up emotional booster, we're going to talk about something that resonated with me this weekend. So April 10th, my keto anniversary, 2 years. Keto and I have been in love for 2 years. No cheating whatsoever. I have been in ketosis for 2 straight freaking years. Sometimes somebody will say, well, don't you just want to have pie at Thanksgiving, or don't you just want to try this? Or I will say when I'm in the candy aisle at checkout, you know how their grocery stores are so good at that strategic, like all this crap on the side of you while you're waiting to check out, so you throw some stuff in your cart. There's definitely some candy bars that I would love to try. Like Kit Kat has a mint one, and I saw, not too sure, but I saw a Snickers brownie. I was like, I don't know how that one would be. But definitely there are some things that I'm like, oh man, if I wasn't on keto, some M&M flavors, I definitely want to try that. But no, I have not cheated once. And the reason for that is because I just cognitively have it in my head. I don't want to fail and I don't want to start over. So it's not worth it to me. Plus, I love keto, and really there isn't anything that I miss eating from not being on keto. There's every once in a while, if I don't hydrate enough and I let myself get hungry, then I'll start craving things like Dutch oven potatoes. Seems to be like a random one that I just have a craving for. But other than that, I pretty much have found a substitute for everything. So it's fantastic. But we're going to use my keto as part of this little boost today for what you can use in your own life. So here we go. So yes, April 10th, whatever, 2 years ago, I decided to do keto. I'm at a point where I'm just so frustrated because everything that I've ever tried before is no longer working. You know, I'm at a different age. I'm at a different spot. Who knows? Like, let's not try to figure out why. It's not working. And that's the key here. Don't figure out why. Let's figure out how. So I decided to hop on keto. I've like literally tried every supplement known to man to try to lose weight fast, and nothing's happening. So I hop on this keto wagon. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm using social media as my educator, which is a really bad idea. And I start out and it's going through getting off the carbs is literally like coming off an addiction. And I just am like not having any idea what I'm doing, but I figure it all out. And I'm like month number 1, I'm waiting because everybody's like, oh, 4 to 6 weeks and your body will like kind of get into the groove and then it'll start burning your fat instead of, burning carbs and sugars. So I'm like patiently waiting. At the same time, it starts my menstrual cycle. Okay. And it just keeps going and it just keeps going. So month number 1 comes and goes. Nothing's happening. I haven't lost a single pound. And I'm like, So I keep focusing. Now I'm off carbs, so I can start to like moderate my calorie intake a little bit. If you're going to start keto, that's my number one tip. Just get off the carbs and don't worry about anything else. Don't worry about your fat intake. Don't worry about your calorie intake. Don't eat a bunch of fat just to eat fat, though. You don't need to be doing all these fat bombs and shoving all this fat in your face and putting butter in your meat or anything like that. Just get off the carbs. Focus on calories and fat after. So once you get off the carbs, then you can start watching and what we call tracking your macros, but you don't want to try to do that at the same time because moderating fat and calories while getting off carbs will kill you. So get off the carbs. Then if you're not losing weight, you start worrying about how much fat and calories you're eating. Because some people can eat tons of fat and tons of calories and still lose weight. So do that secondhand. Okay. So here we go. Month number 1, I'm starting to feel better. I have more energy, but no bueno on like, I'm not losing any weight. So a little depressing, but I'm like, really? I can't be the first person that has never lost weight on keto. So instead of saying, why isn't this working for me? I was like, how am I going to make this work for me? So then I dive into intermittent fasting because I see that's a super big trend. And I'm like, okay, I easily cannot eat for 1 meal. So I started on that. And then I worked every day until 5 p.m. And then bam, like once I started doing that, the weight just flew off. But I did at the beginning not lose any weight for 2 full months. And I had a period for 56 days straight. So sometimes getting to where you need to go can be difficult. So don't throw in the towel, keep going at it. Now, second one is kind of rolling into the same type of thing. I'm working on my business. I'm realizing that, this is thebomb.com. People are healing. It's fantastic. They want more. They're telling other people. I'm getting like my schedule filled up and I'm thinking to myself, what am I going to do? Because I'm spending an hour working with a client and then I'm spending another 30, 45 minutes typing up notes. Okay. So realistically, when you look at it, because I'm only charging $45 for a session, I'm really not making very much for my time. And so I'm like, this is kind of not working, besides the fact that I just don't have the time to do that. So I'm like, either have to shut off some client scheduling spots or I have to figure something else out. So I'm like thinking, okay, how do I make this work? Not why isn't this working? How? I don't like the word why is this not working? Why is this not working is making it to me in my head be like, there is something wrong and I have to fix it. How is the action? So how do I make this work for me? So I tell myself, girl, you got to type the notes as you go. And then initially my cognitive stupid mind is like, whoo, you can't type while you're doing a session because then you won't be able to focus and get into intuitiveness. And I'm like, really? Come on now. And so guess what I do? I work on myself. And I'm like, yeah, release whatever stupid negative thought you have or block that's making you feel like you can't type and be connected and get this intuitive thing because you have to be handwriting. And so I did. And I noticed as I started with my first client, I was like, oh, is this going to work? I'm not going to be able to make this work. And I was like, no, get rid of that thought. This is working. I am making this work. This is beautiful because now my client, it's a win for everybody. I'm not spending extra time after the session. My client gets their notes right after we're done. It's fantastic. So I figured out how to make this work for me. So try that for yourself, whatever you're working on. Dude, yes, I can. I will set it on the porch right by the door. So I want you to try that for yourself. How can I make this work for me? Don't think about why is this not working for me? How can I make this work for me? Because you really dream big, make it happen. The why is the letting yourself focus on that there is a problem. And when you focus on there is a problem, you force the solution. You force your brain to find a solution. When you focus on how can I make this happen, your cognitive brain starts letting things come in because you're not resisting it. You're finding the how, not the why. It's all about that wording. Okay, so tonight, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, we'll do story time. Socks. Okay, socks that I'm wearing today. I'm wearing cat unicorn socks because I can, and they're beautifully yellow, and I just realized that they really do match my shirt. Awesome person yesterday is talking about my page and how she loves the variety of posts, like, right? It's so sarcastic, humor, love, yada, yada. And I was thinking like, yeah, that's because those are all of my different personality types, giving everyone an equal opportunity to be part of my show. So yes, I do wear Happy Cat unicorn socks with a buzz off shirt because that's how we balance out the balance from the sarcastic, I want to chop your face up, to the I love you so much and I want the most bestest life for you. Okay? Because you get what you reap and sow. All right, so here's the cat socks. They're cats. They're unicorns. Everyone needs cat unicorns. All right, but socks that I'm going to give away this week because everybody needs to enjoy some pancake breakfasts. Yes, pancake breakfast socks. Add those to your repertoire. All right, guys, there you go. Hope you have a beautiful day. Hope the sun's shining where you are. Don't forget to love yourself. Remember, other people's opinions aren't paying your bills. See you later.